Happy Thursday. Happy Thursday. You're watching the Wiley Report, and I am Wiley. Uh, Apologize if you hear any noise outside. It's snowing, and they've been shoveling or just keeping or salting the walkway because, the area of concrete, right? Because my office is right out here by the loading dock. That can get slippery. So they're doing what they do. Today I'm chatting about my experiences as a TA. This semester was my first time as a TA, teaching assistant with libraries and information societies. It was and remains to be a great class. I loved the students. They were chatty, they were insightful, they had great questions. They seemed like really great people. Um, I'm excited about the future archivists, informationists, librarians, and the endeavors that they seek. As a person that this was my first time teaching an not in credit, for credit course, being a part of that process from the creation of the syllabus, adding readings, alongside of working with my advisor, it really made me feel like I wasn't a cog on a wheel, that it was teaching you how to be a colleague, yet at the same time providing instruction, support, empowerment, and encouragement. Um, but it's also, there's not but, I think it's also the experience of learning my advisor because she became my advisor in January of 2023. So from going from the experience of somebody that's helping you with your field exam to now working on your dissertation proposal to being a teacher's, assistant in her course, uh, it's learning someone. And also being mentored to a degree. And it's a different experience, different because what she exudes is care and compassion for your whole being, as well as hoping and trying to provide insight into learning, not just how to teach, but to write, to uh, explicate, if you will, information science and what is it you want to do in the field. So that's been interesting to experience. I got to teach 2 sessions. I love that. I think for me, what it highlighted is that I love teaching and that I want to do it more. And that gives me euphoria. It brings me joy to talk to students. And not in the sense that I feel like I know everything, but that you can have great conversations with students and feed off of each other, as well as the things that they teach me about the field, teach me what it is that they see. I guess because the difference between us is that, yes, it's true there in the master's program. I completed my master's, what's that? Let me look, 17 years ago. I completed my master's in library and information science, and I worked in the field for, let me think, 16 years. Uh, is that right? Let me see. Hold on, let me make sure I did my math right. Yeah, that's right. I did my master's, 17 years ago, 2007. So yeah, 17 plus 7 equals 24. You know what I'm saying? I carried my one and my two, And I know I've worked in the field. So I worked 5 years in Florida, and then I've been here since 2013. So that's 11 plus 5 is 16. So right, 16 years in the field, and I completed my degree uh, 17 years ago. Because 17 plus 7 equals, yeah, 2024. Yep. And 24. Yeah. So anyway, um, how they see it. And I'm a person too that's open to how they see it. I think it's what's fascinating to me is how many people want to be archivists. And they deeply love archivist positions in the archives. And as a person who I also thought I wanted to work in archives because it was my first graduate it was my first graduate assistant position. I worked at Florida State creating encoded archival descriptors for special collection files. You also learn about the library in terms of what it is they collect, and what it is that people deposit into the library. But the shift for me or expansion for me in the field came when I focused on web services. And I'm not saying that I feel like the students should expand their focus. I think what I've learned most in my own personal career experience, as well as what I think the different speakers in the readings in 510 sought to teach the students, was to be open to paths, open to the way that you think it's going to go in your career. That doesn't mean that it's going to go bad. Sending positive vibes to everyone on the job track, no matter what it is that your field is in. Um, it's just being open to and realizing that that path that we take to various professions and various interests is not linear. It's not. Um, it was great to be able to share with them my path to librarianship. I enjoyed that because I don't always get to tell that story. I was initially interested in computer science. You couldn't tell me that I wasn't gonna work for NSA or one of the government agencies. I just wasn't passionate about programming. I was good at it, but I didn't like it. And I was at the point in my career where I was like, I wanted to be able to say more about my position than the check comes on time and I like the check. I'm not saying that that does not mean that people need to have livable wage and be able to take care of themselves and their families and their wants. I'm not saying that's not my argument. I'm just saying I wanted to be more, it has to be more about more, it has to be more than the money. The money is good. The money is essential. The money is needed. It just can't be solely about that because I firmly, wholeheartedly believe they can pay you $1 million a minute. If you don't like it, you ain't gonna stay. You ain't gonna stay, friend. Friend, you ain't gonna stay because you don't like it. I've seen people in different fields go off in a position, and it because it's not just the money that they pay you, it's the work environment, it's the colleagues that you have, the structure. It's so many different things that are is as equally essential or of equal value and merit as the money that they pay you. So it's all those things work together for people when it comes to the positions that they seek. So that's important to know. And like I said, I wasn't passionate about programming, and someone had said, "Well, had you considered library and information science?" Or at that time they were calling it information studies, library and information studies. Um, and I hadn't because my only experience of libraries at that time in my life had been I worked as you know, student assistant at the library at my undergraduate college. And the only exposures that I had at that time was checking in, was, circulation and taking things to the catalog desk and shelving books. And while, it was cool, it helped, you know, defray, lessen my college expenses. It wasn't, I didn't necessarily think of that as a career. And I also knew librarians. I had met the director of the library, had finished, her master's some time ago. She was really nice. I'm seeing her face, but I cannot remember her name. I knew someone else that had finished the library program that were in the back. They were the cataloging people. And there was somebody else, I think at that time she was going to University of South Carolina. But at that time, I didn't necessarily think about it. And like I said, I went on to try to do computer science and then transferred to um, the library program. But initially, I wasn't even accepted in the library program. I wasn't. I was in a master's of computer science program at Columbus State, and I had decided to apply to the master's of library um, and information studies program, and I had sent my application, and I hadn't heard back, and it was probably like March, early April. And I called and uh asked about the status of my application. That dates it anyway, because I don't even think people do that anymore. But anyway, dates my experience. I called and asked. And the person on the phone read the note on my file and said, Dean does not see the reason to admit. That's what they said to me. And I asked, was there a way I could speak to the dean or find out why? Because, I had retaken my GRE. I had at least a 3.5 grade point average in my current master's program. I just did not understand. And she said no, because the dean was gone to a conference. And I said, which conference? And she's, I don't even know if they even tell all that information now. So this person told me where the dean was. And she just said Orlando. And at that particular time, I was teaching adult education, and I was also going to that conference. And Mama Ernestine, you watch this podcast, you've heard me talk about Mama Ernestine. Talk to me about going to not going to the conference because I was already going. She helped me go to the conference because I had no money at that time. I was working, but I was quite poor. Woo, I was poor. Anyway, I was poor and I didn't have any. I mean, I had money to take care of my bills and stuff like that, but going to the conference, it was those experiences of working where they always pay you a month behind, and you were traveling to Orlando, and I didn't have any money. But Mama Ernestine, God bless her, made a way and gave me money to go to that conference for work. And she had talked to me about talking to the dean, since I had learned she would be there, and talk about my interest in the program. And that's what I did. And I told the students about this on the last night of class. Well, not the last night, but the next to last night of class, and how I talked about my interest for the program and how I really wanted to be in the master's program. And the person I was talking to was not the dean. And the person I was talking to, she was the person that worked there. I don't know who she was, but she said you should talk to our dean. And so she walked me over to where the dean was, and I relayed the same conversation to her. And she said, "Oh, you should apply." I said I did. I said, but I was told that I didn't get accepted. I read the comment. I didn't say that I knew that she had said it, but I read the comment. This person said it was made notes by the dean. So I mean, I don't know. I don't know. Maybe it wasn't, or maybe the dean signed off on it. No idea. So I told her, that they said there was a note on my application that said no reason to submit. She asked me about, um, you know, she asked me about myself in terms of, was I in the graduate program already? I said yes. I told her I was at Columbus State. I had a 3.5 grade point average. I told her what I made on the GRE. And I said, and she told me to send my application to her. And I did when I got back. And 2 months later, I was in the master's program. Miracles of Abba. And I told them that story. I mean, that they said that it spoke to persistence. And I always just credit that, I think, in many ways to lessons that Mama Ernestine would tell me. She said, don't let nobody tell you no. You really want to do something. She used to say they get tired of seeing my application because every semester I'm applying. And she would talk about using your resources, reaching out to faculty or other people that you know that are in a field and asking them how to improve your application. And I use those skills, thankful to her. She's with Jesus, but she was really great with advice and throughout my life when I met her that really, really helped me. That showed the essence of care and compassion, that showed the essence of pursuing your dreams. Uh, and just continuity of ideas. So I'm really grateful. But I shared that story, like I said, with the students in a way to um, encourage them, in a way to show that sometimes the way you think that it is, you can lead different path, you can end up on different paths, but that does not necessarily mean that you won't get to where you're trying to go. So be encouraged. And I guess my ultimate message is being a TA was encouraging. I want to teach more classes? Yes. However many they'll let me teach, I want to teach all of them because I miss teaching. I find it, like I said, it's exciting to me. I was excited Tuesday night from 6 to 8, and then trying to go to bed, it was hard because you're like up here with the euphoria of excitement, of knowledge and learning, because that's as exciting to me as people who are going to talk about their own hobbies. So there's that. So I rated it 10 out of 10. I loved every minute of it. It's the holiday season. It's reading day to day. Finals next week. I'm sending all the students who have finals to take positive vibes and a wonderful, restful, rejuvenating holiday break. I realize too that holidays bring up different emotions. My emotions have been grumpiness. I don't always like Christmas. I know, but I don't. I'm still trying to figure out my travel plans. So far, I've thought about having a boozy New Year. Not because I'm trying to get drunk, but just mimosas. And I really, it's not necessarily mimosas I want. I really want boozy eggnog. I don't know. I am really trying to find boozy eggnog and just relaxation. I haven't, like I said, I haven't figured out what my travel plans. I know I probably will end up going to Georgia at some point this month. I don't know when. It's been so many different experiences. I think the things that I learned with being a TA is when you TA and you work here. You have to double check on when you're gonna get payment for that because I was looking at my check going, where's the rest of it? Only to learn that it comes January 16th or after. That was not how I thought things were gonna go because I had plans for that money. But praise God that I'm getting paid. Praise God that it's okay. Praise God that I have a position that I enjoy. I do enjoy being a librarian. Uh, it's not gonna hurt me that I don't get it yet. It's just not what I wanted. And I say that from a person who has honestly lived in all of the brackets, scarcity and abundance. Some of the scarcity decisions were life was lifing, and some of them were I fucked up. Yeah. Anyway, but it happens to all of us. No judgment. No judgment. I hope you're doing everything you can to take care of yourself and be well. This is just me with coffee and conversation talking about being a TA. Things I've learned and my experiences. Have you ever been a TA? Have you ever taught any classes? What were your experiences like? Let me know. Peace. Take care of yourself. Bye.